It was a typical Saturday morning, calm and uneventful. I was sitting at the kitchen table sipping my coffee when the phone rang, a call that would turn my world upside down. On the other end was my daughter's school principal, her voice frantic and on the verge of panic. She told me that 2 men had shown up at the school, claiming to be HOA officials. They said it was a legal matter related to new property compliance rules, and without my consent, they took my daughter. There had been no prior notice, no paperwork, just 2 strangers in uniforms walking out with my child. I felt the blood drain from my face. Shock gripped me, then quickly gave way to anger. I didn't know where they had taken her or why, but I wasn't about to sit still and wait for answers. I hung up the phone mid-sentence, grabbed my gear, and ran out the door. What those men didn't know was that I wasn't just a helpless parent. I had spent years as a Green Beret, part of an elite unit trained for some of the most dangerous missions in the world. I was a strategist, an operator, someone who could adapt and execute under pressure. My daughter meant everything to me, and I would stop at nothing to get her back. I called in a few favors from old teammates, former military operatives who still had my back. Within minutes, we had tracked the imposters to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. They thought their fake uniforms and phony authority would keep them safe. They were dead wrong. As we approached the building, I quickly formed a tactical plan in my head. The warehouse had 2 exits, and based on intel, I was certain my daughter was inside. We moved in silently and set up a perimeter. My adrenaline was surging, but my focus never wavered. There was no room for error. Inside, we caught them off guard. They expected a scared father. What they got instead was a trained operator. I neutralized both men swiftly and efficiently, then rushed to find my daughter. She was frightened but unharmed. I scooped her into my arms, holding her close as I reassured her that everything would be okay. The authorities arrived shortly after and took the men into custody. Justice would follow, but the real damage had already been done. In that moment, holding my daughter close, I knew one thing with absolute clarity. They had made a terrible mistake. You don't steal a child from a father like me, not without facing the consequences. No matter what threats come our way, no one will ever break the bond between me and my daughter. Not now. Not ever.